Are open for just about 4 more hours, so plenty of time yet to vote.
Yes, we have live team coverage on several races that we are watching very closely tonight. But we begin with the push for that governor's seat. One of those 5 GOP candidates will need at least 35% of the votes to win the nomination. WHO 13's political reporter Teodora Mitov is live in Hull, Iowa. Teodora, if that doesn't happen, the candidates will be chosen at the upcoming convention.
Yeah, Katie, that's exactly right. We're here in Hull, Iowa. This is about 4 hours away from Des Moines. And the reason why we're here, Congressman Randy Feenstra is hosting his watch party right here in the Grain House, which is the business that we're in right now. It's right along the main street here in Hull. And there's 5 candidates that are in this race. There's a lot of them here that are crowding this primary election, but they do need that 35% margin. And regardless of what happens tonight, Feenstra's future, this is going to be one of the top headlines. If he wins, that's something that people are expecting because he is a sitting congressman, right? And he's also, he has that endorsement from President Trump. Now, if he loses, then that's also a reason why people will be watching as well, because then Iowa would be one of the only states that votes against the president's endorsement. And again, that third option right there is that none of the candidates reach that 35% margin. And that's what's crucial. If they don't reach that 35% margin, it's going to go to a state convention where anything is possible and any candidate could be the nominee for the Republicans in November. And then the question comes up, well, what happens to the political future of Congressman Feenstra if that's the case? Well, take a look here at your screen. We'll show you the graphic that shows you all 5 of the candidates in this race. Now, along with Feenstra, there's State Representative Eddie Andrews, businessman Zach Lane, former State Representative Brad Sherman, and former Director of Administrative Services Adam Steen. Now, Andrews says he wants to eliminate property taxes as governor and change the school curriculum to improve student outcomes. Feenstra wants to freeze property taxes for seniors and small businesses and make Iowa the most business and agriculture-friendly state by opening up new markets in Canada and Mexico. Lane wants to increase taxes for people out of state who own Iowa land. Water quality and cancer rates are also top issues for Lane. Sherman was the first candidate that was in this race and the only one to join before Reynolds announced she wouldn't seek re-election. One of his top issues is eminent domain protections, and Steen's goal is to reduce government spending in the state. No one has dropped out of this primary race, so it's a very crowded primary, and there's a chance that the vote will be split enough to send this race to a state convention next weekend. I asked all 5 of the candidates whether they think they will be successful in convention if it happens. This is how they all answered that question.
If you look at the examples of convention over the last decade or two, it's typically been the person who's been everyone's number 2. And so for those who don't, who choose other candidates, they know and respect my work effort.
We have support all over. I'm earning support every single day.
I believe our message resonates most with the grassroots base about putting Iowa first. And, you know, I don't think it's going to go to convention, but if it does, I believe we have a great shot.
We've worked the grassroots, I think, harder than anybody. I think we have a lot of support among the delegates, but that's something, if it does go to convention, we're going to be on the phone nonstop talking to delegates.
If we don't win the primary outright, which we are expecting and hoping to do, we feel very good about our shot at convention as well.
Now again, that number to watch is that 35% margin tonight. We're going to see which candidate will pull it off, if they do pull it off, and if not, then it will go to a convention next weekend on June 13th. But those are things we're going to be watching for tonight, Katie.
Absolutely. Yeah, just the beginning of a very heated race. Teodora Mitov, live from Hull, Iowa. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, Republican Senator Joni Ernst is retiring from office. Former Iowa State Senator Jim Carlin and U.S. Representative Ashley Hinson are vying for the nomination within the party. On the other side of the aisle, Democrats are planning a run on the open seat. State Representative Josh Turek and State Senator Zach Walz are facing off for the nomination tonight. Much of the country watching this race closely, with the party hoping to flip this seat and take control of the U.S. Senate in the midterms. Both candidates sat down with Teodora recently and say they will fight for Iowans in D.C.
View this as party over country. And so my North Star is always going to be through that prairie populist lens. I'm always going to vote. I don't care, again, whose idea, Republican idea, Democratic idea.
One of the things that people are so frustrated by is they see Democrats in the Senate folding and not actually fighting back against this administration. And so my view is that in order to win back the folks we have lost in this state, we got to show some fight. That's what I've done in the legislature, and that's what I'll do in the Senate.
And we know that for those big races to be decided, voters need to show up.
Yes, more than 2 million Iowans are registered to vote in the state. So let's see how it's all going so far. We have our Adriana Torres checking in with the Secretary of State's office. First, let's go to our Skylar Stamps. He's at Union Park United Methodist Church, where a very strong turnout is expected. Skylar.
Yeah, Samantha. Well, we've been here for a couple hours and we've seen a very steady flow of people coming in and casting their vote. Now, Polk County accounts for about 15% of total registered voters in Iowa, with just over 320,000 registered. And sometimes the primary elections can draw much lower turnouts than compared to November, but this could be a record year. As you guys have been talking about, it'll be the first time in 20 years that there won't be an incumbent on the ballot for the gubernatorial race. Voters are also deciding who will be the Democrat and Republican name on the ballot to take over Joni Ernst's spot in the U.S. Senate. And I caught up with a voter today to see how the voting process went and what drew them to the polls.
I think I'm really just looking for making sure that we have candidates on the ballot that are going to address the issues that are concerning Iowans right now. I think some of that is, the concerns about our water quality and some of the rights that are being taken away from people. What does that look like? How are we making sure that all Iowans are just kind of being seen the same, or, as Iowans, as we are?
And there's still plenty of time to vote. If maybe you're just getting off work or heading home, you can look up your precinct on the Secretary of State's website to see where the nearest polling location is to you. All you got to do is bring your either driver's license or passport, some sort of valid ID, to cast your vote before 8 p.m. tonight. Samantha.
Yeah, polls are open until 8 tonight. Skylar, we thank you for that update. That's when those absentee ballots are due to your county auditor. So what if you still have yours? You can hand deliver your ballot to your county auditor's office. Now, those close at 4:30, so just a few minutes left here. And you can also surrender your ballot at your polling place and vote regular ballot, or vote with a provisional ballot at the polls if you cannot surrender it. Now, you can track your absentee ballot at voterready.iowa.gov. And the Secretary of State's office working around the clock to make sure everything runs smoothly tonight.
Yeah, that includes testing voting tabulators, which started way back in April, to working with the FBI on cybersecurity and even training poll workers. Our Adriana Torres joins us live downtown from the Lucas Building. Adriana, a lot of work to get us to this point.
Yeah, and folks have been working to get ready for this day for months, including Secretary of State Paul Pate. Thanks for joining us. Primaries are always very important, but you do typically see lower turnout for this. How has the turnout been so far today versus what you guys were expecting?
Well, it's a little more robust than I would have predicted yesterday because the early voting was so down, and we're watching the count. Particularly here in Polk County, they seem to be having a little more activity. Some of the early numbers showed that folks are paying a little more attention. But the polls are open until 8, so let your viewers know they can still get out there and vote.
Yeah, a few more hours, less than 4 now. But absentee people have been trying to get ahead of this as well. But if you haven't gotten yours in, what can you tell people? What do they need to know about absentee voting?
Well, go to our website. That's voterready.iowa.gov. And if you doesn't show you've got your ballot in to your county auditor, go down and vote personally. So that way your voice will get heard. But if it is not in the possession of the auditor by now, it's not very likely they're going to get it. So we want to make sure you don't get discounted and left out.
You have about 10,000 poll workers across the entire state of Iowa. What systems have you guys put in place, the training to make sure that this is a safe, secure election?
Well, we have a multi-layered approach we take. A lot of cyber protection out there. We're not hooked up to the internet on stuff. We have paper ballots. We have post-election audits. We do public pre-testing, but it's those poll workers you talked about. We have 10,000 of those folks, your friends and neighbors, who are right there at the polling site. They're using voter ID, something I fought very hard for, to make sure we know who's voting. And with all those things put together, I'm very confident we're giving you the integrity that you expect. That's my goal as your Secretary of State, is to make sure you have that integrity and have confidence in the results.
So any bumps in the road today so far?
None, really. We watch for them early in the morning because typically if there's something that's kind of a quirk, you're going to see it then. And so far we've had good reports, and I'm very comfortable with that and glad to see that, and we'll keep plugging along.
So 8 p.m., that's when the polls close. Anything else that people need to know if they're going out after work to go vote?
Well, check where your polling place is. You can go to that same website, the voterready.iowa.gov, and make sure you know where your polling site is at, so you'll be successful.
We have some close races here tonight across the state. When can we expect to get those results?
Well, I think you're going to see the early results in quickly after the polls close. Those will usually reflect that absentee balloting window, if you will. And it'll be a little while longer. In fact, I tell people this is not a dash, this is a marathon. We want to make sure we're giving you the accurate numbers. But I don't think it's going to be a late night by any means. So, if you stay up a little bit tonight, you'll watch your 10 o'clock news, and you'll have most of the information somewhere in that window.
A good plug for us. Watch your 10 o'clock news, WHO 13. Thanks so much, Secretary Pate, guys.
Adriana, let them know that we appreciate that.
Yeah, WHO 13 is your election night headquarters. We're going to have live team coverage throughout the night with crews at all 5 Republican gubernatorial candidate headquarters. And we're both going to be heading out, Katie and I, to different campaign locations to bring you the latest results as they come in after polls close at 8. We'll have extended coverage on our free app, WHO 13 Plus, and we'll be back on air at 10.
Okay, well, are you voting in today's primary election? Let us know. You can scan the QR code on the corner of your screen or go to WHO13.com/vote to take part. And are you voting in person? Well, maybe by absentee, or perhaps you might not vote if you're not registered with the party, or maybe you are not interested in voting today. A lot of our viewers are getting out there voting in person. We want to hear from you.
Yes.